Dressed as Dick Grayson, Robin has just arrived at the River Hotel, an ancient, decaying, evil-smelling structure situated in an area on the waterfront where many of the shady element of the city congregate. In the small, paint-peeled lobby, furnished with a few sagging horsehair chairs, two furtive-eyed men glance sharply at Robin, then quickly look away. The sleepy, blurry-eyed clerk at the switchboard seems to take no notice of the youngster as he walks swiftly to the rickety, uncarpeted stairs and takes them two at a time. On the third and top floor, where a single electric bulb only seems to make the shadows deeper, Robin reads the numbers with difficulty on the cheap, scarred doors. Finally, he finds room 314, the number Batman had given him at the end of the hall. He stops and knocks on the door.
Come in.
Hiya, Batman. What the?
Stepping into the room, Robin stops as he sees a bald, heavy-set, unshaven man sitting in a chair facing the door. In his hand, the man holds a revolver, which he points at Robin. Another man, very tall and thin, in shirt sleeves, lounges alongside the door. There is no one else in the room. Then, as Robin starts to step backward, the heavy-set man in the chair calls out,
Stay right where you are, sonny boy. Close the door, Lou.
What's the idea? Where's Batman?
You want to know where Batman is, eh?
Yeah. What's so funny? Where is he? What goes on here?
You'll find out, sonny boy. You'll find out, but you ain't gonna like it. No, you ain't gonna like it at all.
What does this mean? Was Robin deliberately led into an ambush by Batman? It hardly seems possible. But then other things Batman has done since his strange reappearance have hardly seemed possible too. Meanwhile, unaware of this development, Superman, disguised as reporter Clark Kent, was at the Opera House in Willow Falls, 30 miles away, where Batman was delivering another speech. As he left the stage and walked into the wings, followed by the applause of the crowd, Kent stepped forward to meet him.
Just a minute, Batman.
Kent, what are you doing?
I want to talk to you.
Yeah? What about?
About Robin and other things.
Look, I haven't time to discuss this.
You're to take time. You and Robin are as close as brothers. You practically brought him up.
Well, what are you getting at?
A few hours ago at the Metropolis Auditorium, you struck him and knocked him out.
So what? Little punk asked for it.
That's not like you, Batman. You never slugged Robin before, or talked like this about him. What's more, you never made rabble-rousing, un-American speeches before. Something very fishy is going on, and I intend to find out what it is.
Look, Kent, I don't intend to stand here and argue with you. I'm expecting some phone calls at my hotel. Good night.
No, you don't, Batman. You're going to stay right here until we straighten this out.
Take your hands off me, Kent, or...
Or what? You'll try to slug me, too?
Yes, I might forget myself and do just that.
That wouldn't be smart, would it? Considering who I am.
You think I'm afraid of you just because you're a reporter for a big newspaper. You're crazy.
Well, I didn't mean that because I'm a reporter.
What did you mean then?
Don't you know?
No. I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't care. I'm going to the Willow Falls Hotel.
Wait a minute.
Steel fingers locked on the bat-like costume of the man's arm. Kent holds him fast, and there's a strange expression in his eyes as he gazes into the masked face before him. Then he hears his own voice, the voice of Superman, talking to him.
Batman is the only man in the world that knows that I, Superman, am Clark Kent. But this man doesn't know it.
Say, what's the matter with you?
So, I was right.
What do you mean? Take your hands off me, Kent.
First, I thought you were acting this way because you were afraid of Jones, the man who said he knew Batman's real identity. But now I think I've got the situation figured out.
You amuse me, Kent. Keep on talking.
Later. Go on to your hotel. I'll be seeing you again very soon. It's dark enough in this alley, so out of these clothes, I need Inspector Henderson's help in a hurry. I can get back to Metropolis in 2 shakes as Superman. There we are, all set, now. Up and away! I tell you, Inspector, I know what I'm talking about. Either Batman is mentally ill, Jones may have done something to him to affect his mind, or else that man in the costume is not Batman.
Not Batman? Why, that's That's ridiculous, Kent.
I know it sounds fantastic, Inspector, but this fellow certainly looks and talks exactly like Batman. But, well, I put him to a test.
Yeah? What kind of a test?
There's a certain secret which only Batman and I know.
Yeah?
That masked man doesn't know it.
What is the secret?
I can't tell you, but take my word for it, Inspector, the real Batman couldn't possibly forget it. That is, unless he was mentally ill. Look, you have a record of Batman's fingerprints, haven't you?
Certainly.
Fine. Now, this guy who says he's Batman is staying at the Willow Falls Hotel tonight. That's only 30 miles away, so why don't you find some excuse for walking in on him and picking up a sample of his fingerprints? Then you can check them with the prints in your file.
Well, I suppose I could do that.
Do it, Inspector. If the prints match, we know he's the real Batman, but he's mentally sick. And if they don't match...
Oh, but it all seems ridiculous, Kent.
I know, but...
How could a phony, clever as he may be, do such a perfect job of impersonation that could fool even Robin?
I don't know. I've heard that everyone in the world is supposed to have a double somewhere.
Yeah, I've heard that too. But you can't.
Now, this fellow could look enough like Batman naturally, so as not to need much fixing, and he could be trained to imitate his voice and manners and so forth.
But who would go to all that trouble, and why?
Fanatics. And we're dealing with a bunch of isolationist fanatics here. Fanatics will go to any amount of trouble to gain their selfish ends. And then there's another thing.
What's that?
Batman is a very rich man. If he were out of the way, an impersonator could make off with a fortune.
Uh-huh. Now that makes sense. Now, maybe you've got something, Kent.
You'll go through with the fingerprint test, Inspector.
Well, I can only do it on one condition, Kent.
What's that?
That somebody closely connected with Batman, in this case Robin, makes an official complaint, including a statement of his belief that the real Batman has met with foul play and is now being impersonated.
Okay, Robin will do that. Come on, Inspector, we'll go to his house right now. Where's Robin, Alfred?
I don't know, Mr. Kent, sir.
What?
He left about an hour ago, after receiving a phone call. In a jolly hurry he was, too.
I don't like that.
Where did he go, Alfred?
All he would tell me, Inspector, is that he was going to meet a man at the waterfront somewhere.
On the waterfront?
Yes, sir. And the way he was gaily chirping and singing, I'm rather sure it was Batman who called him.
Batman?
Did he say that?
No, sir, he wouldn't say, sir. But when I asked him if it was Batman he was going to meet, he simply winked and said, "Mustn't talk, Alfred. But everything's all right again now."
That's funny. Batman's supposed to be in Willow Falls.
Willow Falls, sir?
Yes.
Say, that's right, Kent. Why should he tell Robin to meet him on the waterfront?
He wouldn't. Unless
What?
he is a phony, as I suspect. Look, Inspector, you better get your men to the waterfront to look for Robin.
Right.
I'm going back up to Willow Falls to shake the truth out of that fellow who calls himself Batman. So long.
Racing outside the house, Kent pauses beside a dark hedge and quickly resumes his true identity as Superman.
Up, and away!
Then the Man of Steel leaps high into the starry sky and streaks northward, bound for Willow Falls and a shocking surprise. After streaking to Willow Falls, Superman has secretly resumed his disguise of Clark Kent, mild-mannered and bespectacled reporter, and as we join him now, he is speaking to the clerk of the Willow Falls Hotel.
What room is Batman in, please?
Batman is not here, sir. He checked out.
Checked out? When?
Oh, about a half hour ago, I'd say.
Where did he go? Do you know?
No, sir, I don't know. As a matter of fact, I did ask him. You see, I wasn't able to hear him speak tonight, and since I'm off duty tomorrow, I was hoping I might hear him if he was speaking somewhere nearby.
Well, what did he say?
He said he'd been called away on important business, and he wouldn't be making any more speeches for a while.
Did he leave a forwarding address?
No, sir, he didn't.